Hello, good morning, everyone. I'm the Scribe. I stream from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Wednesdays and Fridays. It's gonna take me a second to get used to switching back and forth. So bear with me, but yeah, it's Wednesdays and Fridays from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm a game development and game designer, and so I'll play games and then I'll talk about the background stuff of how games work, what works, what doesn't work aesthetically and like game design wise, all that fun stuff. And I did play Halo some time ago, but I did take a quick hiatus from it because another streamer was working on the Halo series, so I wanted to make sure to give them some of that time to shine in the Halo series. I do want to thank our sponsors, Magic Feet Compression Shots, for supporting heroes and winners as well. And if you guys haven't already noticed, we did get a new streamer, the Mercenary. I'm not sure what her time is, but I think she just started streaming recently. And if you notice, I was playing a little bit, just to be like, where did I leave off last? So give me one moment. Okay, six out of 10. So that's the coolant. That's like later on. Let me see. Where did I leave off? Oh, yeah, no, I'm not that far. I'm like here. Yeah. But here. There we go. I'd love to play this co-op. Honestly, if somebody wants to play co-op with me, definitely let me know. Um, in the chat, I did put up a link to the Discord and YouTube. In the Discord, I have my own channel, and so do the other streamers. And if you jump in, say hi. And if you want to play, you know, DM me on there and be like, hey, Scribe, let's play some games. Woo! And all that fun stuff. Yeah, that's fine. I haven't played mouse and keyboard in a second, so um give me one moment while I try to remember how that one works. Nah, I should be good here. Oh no, I did this part. Oh, whoops, I accidentally clicked control. No, I know I did this part. I was struggling with this part. Let me... Did I not? Oh, I accidentally clicked that one. I meant to click the guilty spark one. Okay. Now we're good to go. Sorry about that. Captain Keys. Okay. Now I know. Always ask, but just in case, do let me know if the audio is too loud or too quiet for you. This particular level has like weird audio fluctuations in the background, so I'm gonna try to keep an eye on that. Let me see. Shooting, that's important. Ooh, okay, I got the two most important buttons figured out. Shooting and hitting. I'll reload with our. Okay, perfect. Got it. Three most important buttons. Easy peasy. And I'm sad, and I'm tempted to go get my controller, probably in the later half of the stream, so like around 10 or something. Because I don't know how to do it on keyboard, but I figured out that on the controller, so they use Xbox controller, of course. Um, I think it's the options button. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's to the top left of the Xbox logo button, or like the power button. If you click on it, you can actually swap between two types of renderings. So this is the old school one. I just wanted to give it the experience for those who haven't played Combat Evolved the first time it came out. So I was like, okay, we'll just play the old school one. But if you switch it, or if you press that button, it switches to the remastered version of it, and it looks literally like an entirely different game. And I wonder if Tab does it. And Tab does do it. Look at that! Oh my god! Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I'm like, I wonder if Tab does either text, or will bring up an options menu, but it normally doesn't. It's normally the escape key. So Tab does switch it out nice. Shift is normally used for sprint button, so I'm trying to think about it that way. So that is just some computer programming stuff you can not and nothing like too complicated. Is literally just setting up your hotkeys on your computer. So it's like, oh, okay, if I'm moving the character, is the WSAD keys? Or, I don't know if this one does it. No, so sometimes it's the arrow keys on the bottom right. It just really depends what your keyboard is. You can do both, but I think at that point, if you want to use the arrow keys, you need to... What's the grenade button? Probably G? No, R. No, let's reload. F. Yeah! Okay, we're figuring this out. Who's... Uh-oh. Hold on. Okay, we're good. We're good. We got it. Easy. But see what I mean? How the audio fluctuates? So I'm definitely trying my best to keep an eye on that. And also, I couldn't figure out my two-screen situation. I am playing on one screen, so I'm trying to check the chat every so often. Oops. But going back to the keyboard stuff, space bars, jump, a lot of these things are universal. Especially for keyboard, you don't need to switch it around as much. For sorry, I heard some. For the things like controllers versus not necessarily keyboards. That starts getting to company stuff, but we'll stick with controllers. For controllers, a lot of them are patent designs and are copyrighted. So that's why all the controllers look different. And that's why sometimes the buttons are different as well, in the sense of some games you press triangle to jump, some of them you press X to jump. It just really depends for one region, and then two, if they're trying to completely copy, like they're trying not to copy the same movements, fight patterns, and exact button connections or combinations that other companies do, because they can get in trouble if the opposing company really did want to sue them. They can, but it's probably not gonna go to court. It'll probably just get dismissed in the case. Excuse me, still drinking coffee. It'll probably get dismissed. Because at that point, it's a lot of copyright stuff. We can go into that later. I'm totally down for it. I'd rather get better sources for it. There's a few instances that can come up from it, but controllers are going to be different. Keyboards, they're often universal. Like some of these newer ones, I have a gaming laptop, so some of the layout buttons are different. Sorry, hold on. Some of my cables got mixed up. Some of them are different. Not too much. Generally, everything's on the same position for stuff. That just starts to be a universal, not control, but like setting. It's like inst I almost don't even want to say instinctively, but at this day and age, I guess we can. So instinctively, when you play games, a lot of times when you jump, you press the space bar because we've been conditioned at a very either early age or very early stage in computer games where that's what the jump button was. And then moving, if you look down on your hands, when you put down both your hands or your left hand specifically, it almost naturally rests on the WSAD keys and the spacebar. And a lot of the other buttons that you need to use very quickly, especially in FPSs or just in games in general, you need to have quick access to without really thinking about it. I am playing with mouse and keyboard. Sometimes, I don't know why you would do that, but you can play with trackpad. And I think I've done it before before I did get my really nice mouse. Yeah, I think that was trackpad, and then this is mouse. You can see it's way more precision control, but it's trying to play off of what feels natural. So that's why like a lot of people are like, "Oh, why do you play with controller, mouse and keyboard's a lot easier?" And it is because you can switch to any keyboard. And I think the biggest challenge from going to like a desktop to a laptop would be the size of the keyboard itself. Sometimes I mean even at work when I use their what was it at again? Let me see. When I use their laptops, I'm like the keys are further apart than I'm used to. So that's normally the biggest challenge for it. Oh hey, oh yeah, he hit me last time. Oh, it's a different dude this time. He had a hat on last time. I say last time when I was playing last night, he had a hat on. How do I switch? Okay, E. There we go. I don't wanna swap yet. I wanna leave that there. So for me, I normally don't play mouse and keyboard just because I'm used to control. Whoops, just because I'm used to controller. But I mean, I play both. I think the one game I can't get used to playing, funny enough, Bungie also made the game, is Destiny. I can't do mouse and keyboard with that one. Now the mouse I do have has like, let me see, 12 buttons on the side. So I could probably make it easier myself in that case. But I don't really think about moving my thumb when I play. I'm trying to. I think that'd be fun to see what I can map and probably use in some other stuff too. But, oh yeah. We'll figure that out when we get. Whoops! I didn't know that. I thought that was glass. Oh man. Let me go back to this one. Oh, jeez. I feel okay. So no more button talking. We'll probably talk back into it. So this is how it used to look like, right? Silver, some lighting. We'll get to that one because that's my favorite part. Purples. Very cement, cold, inorganic. Like you can try growing a plant here, it's not gonna live. Here, the edges are a bit more rounder. There's textures and there's interesting features and designs on what we just saw. It's very boring and bland. Here there's a lot of colors and different lighting sources, which is very important because I've noticed well, the second I discovered I could flip between both of them, I've noticed that this is the remastered version for it. I don't know when the remastered version came out. I cannot recall. But you can tell the lighting differences. They really up their game. So let me get right here. We're gonna count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 back there. 10. 10 is that. 11, and there's some lighting, very subtle, but down there. 12. We've. I'm not gonna count the thingies, so maybe 12 to 13 lighting, different lighting sources right there. If I hit tab, it's about the same. But if you notice, so if I go here, see how the light is still flickering, but it's not as intense as the other one. It's a lot more subtle. This one, I'm not going to stare at it directly. If you look on it to right, it's not as subtle. It's very harsh. It's very intense. But the color sticks out really well, whoops, in comparison to, there we go, to the rest of the scene. Here, it took me so long to find the spot. Obviously, because the green is there, but the flickering catches your attention a lot faster than this one. But if you look at it as well, the lighting source is a lot more intense. That's like a spotlight here. Those are ambient lights on top as well. Well, no, there's probably another spotlight. There's probably a hidden ambient light in this area. Probably from under there. Or even under there. Just because there's not a light bulb doesn't mean that there's not light. But you can tell that they're flexing really hard how well the lighting has come to be. And that's a good thing. I think that's awesome when a company does have the resources to do. I mean, just look at that. This room alone and the shields. Look at that. That's all like pixelated JPEG, barely a PNG. JPEG doesn't have transparency. PNG does. Look at that. This is so pretty and crisp. A nice pulsing effect with a better texture on it. I love that stuff. It's so cool to see before and after stuff. But again, it's look at the lighting. It's so funny. Before we used to only be able to afford one light in our hallways. Now we can have up to 20 in each corner. It's so funny when that happens. Hey, oi! Oh, jeez. Anyway, so the lighting in this room is kind of cool too. Um, it's it's pretty crazy. Oh god, I keep forgetting to announce it, so I do apologize, and I am gonna put it in the chat as well. Halo is a rated M game. Hold on. And I'm gonna explain why I forget it's a rated M game. So I do apologize for that. Um Super apologize for that. Let me explain why I forget. So one, when we were looking around, it's rated M. I remembered that because there wasn't that much going on until I saw the blood and stuff going around. The blood is blue. You can have different colored blood in video games without it being a rated M game. This would be a rated teen game, even in this day and age with bullets and bodies around. Maybe without the bodies, if they despawned, then, then it can be still a rated teen game. But the bodies stay, so that might push it very close to a rated M game, but not always. Other games do just have bodies lying around and they are rated teen, so that's fine. It's just more like the blood, and if there's like apparent gore, right now it just looks like blood, but I made it blue for that reason, so that wouldn't be all red, because that was red before. Crimson, deep crimson. Now it looks like grapes and blueberries thrown on the wall, so in paint, so it's fine. So one of the other reasons why I forget is that it's rated M is because there's no there's not a lot of gore and blood that really does come out. I think that's the most in this area is the most blood you ever see, I think, in like most of the games like combined. It's not a very bloody or gory game. They're pretty smart about that. One of the biggest reasons is Cortana's design. Now, in the earlier installments of her, she was just straight up naked. Let's be honest. They just added funny little alien designs on her body, but she straight up looked like a naked woman with like lingerie on. Still not the best thing. So they're like, no, slap a rated M label on that and we're good to go. And some at this point when it was being made, lots of games, there's like cutscenes coming up, so I'm trying not to talk over them. Some of these games, when they were released, like this one was at the cusp of, I want to say, the Ratchet and Clank era, Jack and Daxter era, where gun violence was the thing. You know, I'm playing Jack too. Why isn't that one right? Oh, okay, there's human blood. Sorry. So human blood is still red. I could have sworn I changed that. Let me see while they talk about it. Um, but in the Jack and Daxter games, Ratchet and Clank, um, trying to think some other games, but we'll go with those two. Those are rated E, maybe rated teen games. I think Jack 2 and 3 are rated teen because of the guns. Ratchet and Clank is rated teen. The reboot is rated E plus 10, I want to say. No Ratchet and Clank game has been rated M or rated E, I think. I think they've always been T, probably rated E every now and then, but they know their audience and they know what boundaries to push. So like that was like really smart to be like, oh, okay, we're gonna push the boundaries enough to make it interesting and to bring in this neat stuff, but then we're also gonna do some other stuff where it's held back enough that we can still make those sales, you know? Um, ooh, one good game that I personally haven't played it yet, but I hear a lot of people like it, and I would not be playing it on here. Is Conqueror's Bad Fur Day. It's, oh man, you know, I almost want to save it for another stream, but I have an hour and a half. And I think this would be a really good one to bring here. Tying back to the whole thing why I forget this game is rated is because a lot of those things. But it's also, you know, it's Cortana's design. It's she's a very sexy lady. And how dare sexy lady be in video games? I'm gonna try to go on the side that there's no blood. But again, it's rated M, so we're gonna do our best. And here's a cutscene. Yeah. And then I'll get back to that host feel after this.
Why do we always have to listen to this old stuff, Sarge?
Watch your mouth, son. This stuff is your history. Should remind you, Bronx, what we're fighting to protect.
Hey, does the governor want to wipe out this particular part of my history? That's fine by me.
Skid.
Better it than us.
You ask him real nice next time you see him, Simpson. I'm Stay close, Jenkins. Mendoza, move it up! Wait here for the captain and his squad, then get your ass inside.
Sir!
Okay, let's move!
Which is weird, right? I mean, look at it. Something scrambled the insides.
What's that? Plasma scoring?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there was an accident, you know, friendly fire or something?
What do we have, Sergeant? Looks like a Covenant patrol. Badass elite units. All KIA.
Real pretty. Friend of yours?
Nah, I just met.
Right, well, let's get this door open.
I'll try, sir. But it looks like these Covenant worked pretty hard to lock it down.
Just do it, son.
Yes, sir. I got a bad feeling about this.
Boy, you always got a bad feeling about something.
Sarge, can you hear me?
What's going on, soldier?
He's got contact. Stop them. But they're not Covenant. They're just tearing through us. What the? Oh no!
Corporal, do you copy? Over. Mendoza, get your ass back up to second squad's position and find out what the hell is going on.
But-
I don't have time for your lip, soldier. I gave you an order.
Sarge! Listen!
What is that?
Where's that coming from, Mendoza?
I don't... There! Get out! Hold still! Hold still!
Let him have it. Damn it, Jenkins. Fire your weapon.
There are too many,
Don't
Sarge!
even think about it.
Ooh, look at all that blood. Oh no. Remember, Halo's a pretty damn game. Hi Anthony. So I saw your message earlier during the cutscene. And oh man, the humor, that's a whole nother thing. I'll definitely get into that in a second too. So I brought up Ratchet and Clank, Jack Daxter, a little bit of Conker's Bad Fur Day, and this one. So one of the things in there is, while there's weapon violence, there's no like... Jack 2 kind of gets away with it when there's more like sexual innuendos, or even if it's not an innuendo, but a lot of times those jokes or gestures can and will go over a kid's head, so they can get away with some of these things. But things for like what is it? Ratchet and Clank had a couple games that were play on words of that, like Up Your Arsenal. Going Commando. Like that's what the straight on their titles were, but it's like as a kid it's like unless you specifically knew like what Going Commando was, you just wouldn't know. Unlike Up Your Arsenal, it's up your arse, like your butt. Come on. This for adults and like for I guess just kids that are aware of like older humor. I guess up your butt, that's not a bad thing. Everybody says that, right? But things like that they can kind of get away with. But when it starts being like straight up cartoon, whoa! I forgot they blasted out through that door. Oh jeez, I forgot about him. you know, that's when it starts getting a little iffy. I think that's like one of the biggest things with it, with Cortana, is that in later games, I think in Halo 4 is one of the first Halo games. I haven't played any of the sub ones that are like, excuse me, sir, where you going? That has rated teen, but in her reveal for her, she's wearing, like, her armor has been, not her armor, her AI bodysuit has been redesigned to look like she is wearing clothes and armor. So it's like, oh, okay, everything else is pretty much the same for it. So it's like, I think they're down there. Where are they? But the humor's a really good one too, that you brought up. This is like wartime stuff. I don't think there's really innuendos in here. If there is, I honestly either haven't caught them or don't remember them that much. Hello. Beep. He's just like, huh? Wow. I'm also so, whoops, I forgot. F for forgot. But I kind of wish I did have it on the remake version for that stream, or for that cutscene, because I totally forgot how bad the what was it called, CRTV lines that made it look like it was an old school broadcast is pretty intense. Like, that was just hard to watch. Whoa! Hey, sirs, relax. You can get your magic feet compression socks like everybody else that support heroes and winners. Like, oh my goodness. And if you want to send a message, just check our Discord that I have in the chat. Where is this? Ooh, sir. Ooh, give me that grenade. Come here. Crap, I hope I... Dang it. No, I couldn't get far enough away. Rip and dip. Where do they go? I like hear them gurgling. Nasty. Ew. I think the ones that like are bulbous here are nasty. Oh yeah. Just because it will get worse, I do want to warn for anybody watching in, there is gonna be a lot more body horror. Like, more intense. That one wasn't as bad, so be advised with that. I feel like I've done this part too in here. But, I don't know, I play this game a lot on my own, so I feel like it could just be like mixing up stuff. But it won't be long. Oh, excuse me. It will not be long. Ooh, boy. I'm gonna have to, like, activate a bridge to get back out of here. My bronze. Let me out. It's crazy. The second we see the flood, it's like, alright, well, we're done. It's gonna be like 3 new enemies now. Because I think the little ones, the big guys, and the ones that are like explodey looking. I think there's like a different one somewhere. Come here, elevator. Ah! They're like actually scared. Oh, I forgot about that. Whoops. Okay. But how did... Okay. Be scared there. Whoops. I'll randomly shoot because I'm clicking back in here. What is that? Oh man, I'm almost out of bullets. Yeah. Ooh, look at that. Oh man, I don't remember where there's a health pack. They're kind of not obvious about it. Oh, okay, well, here's a couple. I was gonna say they're kind of like not obvious about it. Sometimes they are, you know, I spoke too soon. Sometimes you will find it in areas, like if it wasn't there, it probably would have been like back here somewhere. And I still haven't figured out if I can actually sprint in this game yet, so it's a little bit of walking. But that's okay. Oh, I know we've been through here, because I talked about that lighting thing. Okay, so... I keep clicking F by accident. Okay, stop reloading! I gotta switch! Do I not have another gun? Do I not? Do I have just this one? Hello? Is it T for time to run? Let's see, is it? No, tab is the other one. And that's not scroller mouse. Huh. Well, that's odd. So I wonder why I left it on chapter 6, because this is the one that's saying that I was on last. We'll play a little bit more. Just that, wow. Let's look at this. Oh, interesting. You can barely see this on the remake version. That's kind of wild. Oh, hey, relax. Oh, the smacking. That's kind of wild. And it's still rated M. Like the remade version was still rated M, you know, because Cortana was now in HD glory.